ABC Grandstand, it's finals time in the Queensland Cup. Today, live from Meakin Park, Logan City, the minor premiers South's Logan Magpies are at home to Tweed Seagulls for the first qualifying final. This is the lineup for South's Logan. The fullback is Shea Moylan. On the wings, Jack Reed and Brett Kelly. James Stewart and Adrian Purtell are the centres. There's a real Raiders flavour about it. Phil Dennis is the 5/8 and captain. Matt Smith is the halfback. At lock forward, wearing number 16 is Sean Fensom. Second rowers are Josh White and Brad Cross. The front rowers, Daniel Joyce and Lewis Balcombe. Matt King is the hooker, coached by Paul Bramley. Here's the lineup for the Tweed Seagulls. Ryan Milligan is the fullback. Brenton Bowen and Cameron White. White's scoring a lot of tries now. He's on the other wing. King Uquala and James Wood are the centres. Brad Davis, the 5/8 and captain. Tim McCann is the halfback. Ryan Simpkins is the lock forward. Selassie Birdie and Tom Kingston the second rowers. Will Matthews will be wearing number 18. He's come into the front row. That's a strong asset for them. Brock Hunter is the other front rower. Joel Brown is the very dangerous running dummy half as well, coached by Steve Lacey. So South Logan are the only team who can survive the weekend, certainly. They are definitely going to be still around next week. Everybody else has got to play to win.
South Logan are running with the breeze in the first half. It's a warm afternoon here at Meakin Park at Logan. But the good thing is there is a breeze and it's coming down the ground from the north, so it's behind South Logan for the first half as Tom Kingston getting very quickly to his feet to play the ball. Brought it just outside their own 22. So it's Tweedheads in possession, coming to the blind side again to Kingston. Joel Brown goes in to be the distributor.
Some hefty defence coming in from the Magpies early.
So they'll use the kick. Brad Davis getting it away. That could be too deep. It is. So first mistake. Brad Davis making a mistake, putting it out on the full, so that's not the start that they wanted.
No, that'll shake their confidence, and Josh White was right in the face of Brad Davis as he saw that go out on the full and really revved it right up him.
So Daniel Joyce takes it to 30 metres out now from the Tweed line. So the first real attacking opportunity, and it comes on the first set that South Logan have had. Balcombe takes it up almost to the 20. Come back to the short side once more. Given wide to Adrian Purtell. Big, tall, rangy centre is Purtell. Pretty hard to handle. Has a very good combination as well with Brett Kelly. This is Josh White. Only a couple of metres out from the line now, the Magpies. Given wide. Given across by Phil Dennis. Looking for a runner. They'll be knocked down only about 8 metres out. Once more, Dennis using the little grubber kick. Going to be cleaned up though by Tweed and they'll be pushed back. Brenton Bowen not able to do anything about it. He simply had to clean up that loose ball. Get pushed back over the dead ball line, so a goal line dropout. So all of the pressure on Tweed from the start of this game, and it really came from that kick out on the full from Brad Davis in their first set of 6.
Yeah, very solid start from the Magpies. Everything's been good from them. Strong defence. They forced the error from Davis. The kick was useful into the in-goal area, so they're putting the early heat on Tweed heads. Brad Davis will drop out from between the sticks. And bouncing around towards halfway. Taken there by Moylan. Shea Moylan brings it back into the centre of the ruck, and met there by Joel Brown.
Got the best of dropouts by Brad Davis, and he was kicking as well into the breeze. So the chance once more for the Magpies to attack it. This is Josh White. 28 metres out where he'll play it. Matt King is the dummy half. Now given away to Phil Dennis. Kick again. Dennis runs to the blind side, but given straight to Daniel Joyce coming down the middle of the ruck. Makes it almost to the 20, Joyce. Dennis quickly getting his pass across from Matt Smith. James Stewart almost getting through. He was dragged to ground by Uquala at the last minute. Ball on the ground, little grubber kick. And penalty will go the way of Tweed. Offside against the Magpies, so that's the relief that they needed. Tweed, because they've been under pressure for the opening 3 minutes of this game.
Yeah, Dennis tried to get the kick through. He was under pressure, had very little time, and it ricocheted around, and in the end, called offside. So Davis will find touch, and Gavin Payne, conditions pretty hot.
Yeah, look, I think you said earlier, very hot. There's a strengthening breeze actually favouring South Logan this afternoon. The field, as you can probably see, is quite dry and firm, and I think it's going to be a fast open game here this Avi.
You saw that difference in for and against. South Logan completely dominant compared to Tweed's record, but it doesn't matter. Both are into the finals, and it's all hands on deck, all bets off, and away you go now.
Yeah, as they always say, Warren, it's a different competition when you get to finals. What's happened previously in the year, you can forget all about. Finals football is different, and certainly the Tweed Seagulls have a lot of experience from the last couple of seasons. Celeste Birdie to play it. They've got back inside South's territory, and for the first time, Brock Hunter, who was the man of the match last week, he won the Players Player Award for Tweed last week. He's been in good form. Little kick, putting it in behind the line. Boylan going back for it. He'll take it and will be held on to. They'll try and push him back into the in goal, but he'll be able to stand his ground and stay just in the field of play.
A better judge kick that time from Davis. And Gavin, you were saying the ground looks pretty hard and dry, so it'll roll today.
Yeah, indeed it will. I think the kicking game, as it always is, will be very important this afternoon. Brad Davis is no slouch in that field. You know, Phil Dennis and the South Logan boys left to be right on their mettle with their kicking game also. I've been impressed with the South Logan start. They're just looking nice and controlled, composed, in no real hurry, just going through their drills like it's a training run.
This is Daniel Joyce. Put to ground in the tackle of Will Matthews, who's playing at 18, but starting the game as playing in the front row for the Seagulls.
A lot of players in the Tweed Heads lineup who played in the under-20s last year, whether it was with the Gold Coast or Newcastle or South Sydney. There's that mix of youth and experience. This is a deep kick down behind Cameron White.
So bringing it back, Cameron White, and he's hammered. First to get to him was Daniel Joyce in a good tackle, and coming in to help him was Brad Cross. Good defence by the Magpies. Ryan Milligan play the ball.
And Shannon Walker on the left. He is back into the team. Looked as if he was going to be left out of this finals experience, but he's there because he scored a couple of magnificent tries in the grand final 2 years ago for the Seagulls.
Tackle 3, timeout, we got blood.
He's also been suffering with a cut to his hand during the week, and there was some doubt that he may have not been able to play, but he is on the bench.
You, okay?
Bit of a problem here for one of the Seagulls. Shannon Walker, he didn't finish the game on the field against Norths 2 weeks ago, and I wasn't sure. That's a bad
Brett Owen got a cut right underneath the eye, and the blood flowing freely from that, so he's being sent to the blood bin by referee Michael Wise in behind the back of play.
Looks like it might need more than water.
Yes, I'll say. Yeah, that looks a very nasty cut for Brenton Bowen. So the training staff working feverishly on Brenton Bowen. He's one of the experienced players, of course, in the Tweed Head side.
I'm blowing the whistle.
Got to wait for that whistle.
Wait for the whistle. Referee says we'll do it all again.
Tackle 3, go.
That's what you need to use up a bit of energy on a hot day like this. Magpies coach Paul Bramley looking on intensely. He knows what it takes to win a grand final as Celeste Birdie makes a few metres up the middle.
Yes, Paul Bramley in charge of the Magpies when they won last year's Queensland Cup grand final. So the kick by Brad Davis. He's not having a good game with his kicking game. He's put one out on the full, and that time, ball being charged down, and Souths will come up with it.
Yeah, that was Josh White put the pressure on Davis and got the charge down. So now it's the Magpies with Daniel Joyce trying to forge ahead, but they come in over the top, 3 in the tackle and knock him backwards.
Matt King, the dummy half, brings it back to the right to Josh White. Just outside the 30. Now once more from Phil Dennis, looking for the runners. Finds one coming straight through the centre of the ruck. Now back again onto the short side to pick up Moylan. Grounded the tackle of Brad Davis. Played back and given away from Purtell. Now the kick across field from Phil Dennis, high into the sun. Players trying to shade their eyes from that sun. That was a very high kick.
Still the 5th tackle, still the last.
From Dennis, away again to Moylan. Moylan puts in the little grubber kick, and it's going to be too deep, and with the breeze behind it, will roll over the dead ball line.
Gee, there was a lot of space in there behind, and Moylan saw it, but his kick was too long. It just kept on rolling. There was the magnificent attempt, or at least the fly looked good through the air. That gave them another chance for a second bomb from Dennis. Tweedhead survived, but they are spending a lot of time at their own end of the ground.
I don't think it'll be the last time we'll be seeing a bomb out into that corner. You could see that the players just trying to shade their eyes as the ball went very high and into the sun.
Yeah, John, Shannon Walker's replaced Brenton Bowen out on that right wing. I think Bowen's gone straight up into the dressing room to see if he can get that bleeding stopped.
Not a bad replacement. Shannon Walker coming on for Brenton Bowen.
Look at that. Tweed have spent 81% of the first 8 minutes in their own half. They just have not seen the other end of the field. Now's a chance, though, as Davis goes wide. No, inside he goes instead.
Dropping it back on the inside to Brock Hunter. Ball played. Joel Brown giving it back to Davis. Again, he'll put it high. Moylan waits for it and will be able to take it. Good take. Was immediately put to ground in the tackle of Selassie Birdie.
You can see that breeze is just stiffening up a little bit, Gavin. It's worth kicking early in the tackle count.
Yeah, it would be for South Logan instance. You know, the Tweed have to take the yards that they can and then rely on kicks. Davis's kicking game. A better kick that time, a bit of pressure on South Logan, and not quite so much pressure either on Davis to able to get that kick away.
Look pretty composed the way they go about their business, though, do the Magpies. Straight ahead comes Daniel Joyce with a good hard run. He'll be brought to ground just a couple of metres on his own side of halfway. Down the short side.
The King kicked out a dummy half himself, and it's gone too far.
Again, that breeze, which has just picked up probably since this game has got underway, and in fact all the flags around the ground just fluttering quite strongly at the moment, so the breeze getting behind that, and as you said earlier, Warren, with the ground fairly dry and hard, there will be a good bit of roll on.
Rushing defence from the Magpies, pins Birdie and knocks him back inside his 20 after they took the tap. We talked about it at the Sunshine Coast last week. I think with this wind, 40-20s, it's definitely got to be a thought. Matt King kicked that from just his own side of halfway, and it went dead easily.
It's at the back where they've spent just about all of this game. Brock Hunter takes it forward for the Seagulls, and in their own territory for the vast majority of this match, and finding it pretty hard to get out. Now spun across field, picked up by Wood. James Wood to play the ball. Back to Davis. Then the kick by Tim Mackin. Quickly fielded though by the Magpies.
Yeah, Tim McCann, certainly the second option for the kick, and he was useful there. It was a fine offload in that set too from Simpkins. A bit of intent there on the part of Tweed. They just haven't really got any attack ball yet, and that's a good strong run, yeah.
Matt King, who is the Magpies captain. Now once more to Joyce. It's worked hard for them, Daniel Joyce, and takes it back to only 32 metres out. They've had to soak up a lot of pressure of the Seagulls. Once more to Phil Dennis.
Keep talking,
Plays it back to King. Now to Smith. Fifth tackle. Little chip kick being put in by Smith across the top of the line. Knocked back, batted back into the infield. James Stewart.
Just want to check. Player knocking it back in, Rex.
Going through to try and get it.
And whether he's promoted the ball
Referee
forward.
will go and just have a quick look.
Yeah, it's a chance to check the offside as well, and whether or not that was knocked forward as it was batted back, but it looks like it could well be the first points of the match in favour of South Logan here, as Matt Smith put the kick up. He's been prominent in the last couple of minutes. They're onside. Now, behind Walker for Tweed, he really gave it up. Although he had his foot down, he was out. He came backwards, but he was already out. So that's no try.
By Reid, James Stewart able to push it down.
Did he get a foot down?
Yeah.
Oh, it's close, isn't it? It is close. The video ref still has to have a close look at that. Was his foot down?
So we're going to go to the 20? Yes. Out, we're going to the 20.
Will rule yesterday. It was good work by James Reid, but just had his foot down as he batted it back in field.
Near thing.
Yep. Touch and go, but the right decision made. So a let-off as far as the Seagulls are concerned.
It was interesting, the reaction of Shannon Walker. He just decided that was going out on the full in goal, and he'd given up. He didn't even bother chasing back, but Reid didn't give up for a moment. Jack Reid nearly turned that into a try. Will Matthews on the charge. Has played a few games for the Titans this year. Up-and-coming future NRL player, no doubt about it. Kingy Aquala's come in from the centres, wants to be part of the action, runs out a dummy half, gets him on the front foot. Needs a quick play the ball, though.
They need to spend a bit of time down in South's territory, and maybe this is the first real chance for them. Ball to be played back by Ryan Simpkins. Now they'll start to open it up. Brad Davis with the little left foot kick, putting a crossfield towards Reid's wing. Knocked forward by Reid. 6 tackles to go.
Kingy Aquala's got it back.
So the tackle count restarts. This is Birdie. Gets to only a few metres out from the line. And a penalty.
Don't just sit there and look at me, mate. Get out. I caught it. Anywhere along there?
Holding on too long. First penalty of the game. No, second penalty of the game. But Tweed are on the attack. They're only 10 metres out. Matthews takes it in.
Matthews trying to stand in the tackle. Plays it just 5 metres out from the line. Played back. Davis able to send it across field to Kingston. Goes backward. James Wood trying to work his way through the defence. Knocked over on tackle number 3. Played back to Joel Brown. Now given a cross field from Davis. Looking for a runner down the middle, and it's Brock Hunter. Given a cross field once more to Davis. Davis sends his pass onto Tim McCann, and he'll be put to ground. Back to Davis once more. Little grubber kick trying to roll it into the in goal. Still loose on the ground. Milligan's got it. Ryan Milligan trying to get the ball down and held on to.
5th tackle.
0.
Back to 0.
So the tackle but lost immediately. So the pressure comes off. And Shea Moylan able to bring it away.
Yeah, that was a kick from Davis. Moylan couldn't hang on to it, and once Milligan got it, it was a near thing here. He just needed to twist, but couldn't get out of that strong tackle. I think it was Jack Reid saved the day.
So still no score. As Sean Fenton playing it lock forward.
That was a bad loss on the first tackle by Tweed as the set was restarted.
Yeah, it would have been the start of the third set for them. You would think that in normal circumstances they would have been able to score during that set, so that really was a let-off. The first real attacking opportunity they've had. Daniel Joyce with a good run. He's doing a lot of the hard work for the Magpies today, Joyce, and he plays the ball and give it away from King. Now it goes to Phil Dennis and knocked on. Loses the ball in the tackle.
Tweed are just working their way into this game a little bit, boys, aren't they? They haven't had a lot of attacking ball. They just have a couple of sets back-to-back there, which has taken a little bit of petrol out of South Logan's tank, I think, and a little error there from Phil Dennis. So just starting to lose their consistency a little bit, the Magpies.
And a couple of good runs from Ryan Simpkins. One good offload, another good incisive run up the middle, beat a couple of players. And there, the history between these two this season. Round 2, South Logan defeated the Seagulls 44-18, but in round 13, on home territory, Tweed Heads were too good for South Logan, 26-24, so it's gone with home ground this season.
Will Matthews just getting some attention for Tweed Heads.
And head-to-head in the Queensland Cup, it's even 7 apiece.
They haven't played a finals game, these two sides, but
First scrum.
7 apiece as far as just competition games are concerned.
Yeah, 9 players in the South Logan team from last year's grand final. It really gives them a leg up in terms of experience and what to expect, and you know that they've got the ability.
Point to point, stay their half. Point to point, stay square.
So Brad Davis will work the scrum for Tweed Heads. Ryan Milligan gets to about 16, 17 metres short of halfway. Still no score after almost 16 minutes of play. Most of, certainly the territory has been dominated by the Magpies.
Kingy Aquala, he wants to get into the forwards, doesn't he? He wants to be part of the action. He's not going to stay out in the centres.
as solid a player as Kingy Aquala. Now back once more to Matthews. Straight through the middle of the ruck, almost getting away. Good pass by Joel Brown.
Walker backing up Brown.
Shannon Walker to play it. Back to Brad Davis. Davis elects to go away to Birdie. Then on the short side, his pass goes to Aquala. Final tackle coming up now.
Kicker!
Little chip kick being put across field, all going forward. Taken down though by the Magpies right on their own line.
Well, that was another close thing. Josh White's come up with it. Yeah, but near thing. I thought the Tweed were coming down with it. It was a good chase, just a shallow bomb by Davis, and they were up high for it, and that was Matthews challenging for the ball. He is tall, he's a big front rower, and he's very mobile as well.
Actually, Gavin Payne is right. They absorbed a lot of pressure early on in the opening 10 minutes, Tweed, and now they're just starting to find their feet a little bit in attack. It's the Magpies.
Purtell and James Wood are having a good battle out here in the left centre positions.
Dennis, his kick coming off the Tweed player, still bouncing free. Eventually going to be picked up by Cameron White. The referee is going to rule that it was a knockover, a knock-on. It'll be a changeover.
You can hear referee Michael Byers saying he kicked it into your own man, accidental offside. So that is a loss of real territory on that last. You just want to get a good kick away. It was 50 metres to be gained the easy way. Instead, Tweed go on the attack once more. And Brown made a good run a little while ago. Now it's Brock Hunter getting involved, another big man.
This is Joel Brown. Brown just sending his pass away, first of all, from Tim McCann. They get once more to the 20. As Birdie plays it. Back to the short side from Brad Davis. This is Kingston. Davis called for it out on the left, but they elected to send it back through Ryan Simpkins into centre field, again to Will Matthews. Straight ahead goes Simpkins. He's having a good game, Ryan Simpkins, and does well. Lovely pass. Got it back away to Joel Brown. Given wide, and this will be the first try to Kingy Aquala.
It was the offload that made the difference, wasn't it? They got it out the back and then quickly shifted it to the right. And Tweed Heads, against the run of play for the most part of these first 19 minutes, score the first try, 4-0, as Simpkins here takes them on, crashes into the defence, but then pops it out the back. And quick reaction there from Brown and Davis. Shift, lovely pass from Davis. He cut out McCann, got it to Aquala, who was unmarked, found the open space out wide, and Tweed Heads score the first try of the match. Lovely pass from Davis. What quick reactions that was to see the space was outside.
So Brad Davis, who played a very big part in that try, it was a lovely pass from himself to Kingy Aquala. Now the attempted conversion waved away. So it remains 4 points to 0 in favour of Tweed Heads.
Davis's goal kicking wasn't all that flash last time we saw them from memory. It might have been windier conditions that day. Gavin, great pass out the back here.
Yeah, look, that's a fantastic pass in anyone's language from Simpkins there. And then just Davis reads the play, obviously. Jack Reed, I think, tried to come in and just bat that ball down if he could. He knew he was outnumbered. He had to try and do something. Couldn't quite get there. Look at the crowd sunning themselves in this beautiful afternoon here, and first blood to the Tweed, and I think probably deservedly so. They might just be slightly on top in my books.
Actually, there was some talk about having drink breaks at the 20-minute mark. Now, I don't know what the final decision was. No drink breaks. There was a try scored on the 20-minute mark anyway, so they were able to get a bit of liquid into them.
It's been exceptionally warm, given that we're officially still in winter, but you wouldn't have known it for the last couple of weeks in southeast Queensland. Another warm afternoon it is, and this is Kingston on tackle number 3. 15 on his own way, on his own side of halfway. Brock Hunter. Now once more comes Will Matthews. Really been involved in this game so far as Matthews. Just on halfway. Kick being put downfield on the last by Joel Brown. Dropping back forward is Shea Moylan. Fence coming up in a line to meet the fullback. He's taken to ground and put over in the tackle of Birdie. So 4 points to 0 in favour of the Magpies. James Stewart eventually being wrestled aground.
Second interchange on now for Tweed Heads. None for South so far after 22 minutes. This is starting to become a very even battle now.
Down the short side come the Magpies. Josh White to play it. Straight ahead, good hard run by Daniel Joyce. Played back to King. Now to Dennis. Putting it high. Shannon Walker, with the sun in his eyes, does well though and is able to take it.
They don't want to give him any room with those bombs. There's got to be plenty of defenders coming through to corral him. He can step, and he's got that extreme acceleration as well. You know, I think teams seeing Tweed Heads lead here by 4-0, the top six, they'll all think that everyone is beatable. South Logan, old minor premiers, lost 6 games during the season. That's more than any other minor premier has lost in the history of the Queensland Cup. So everyone in this top 6 is beatable. There's no certainties for the grand final.
Penalty against the Magpies' defence. Coming up inside the 10. So that allows Brad Davis to drive this deep inside the Magpies' territory.
It's been such a close competition this year. Even the Wooden Spooners Mackay won more games than any previous Wooden Spooner has ever done. It was very concertina.
Richie Barrett coming off the interchange bench for Tweed Heads playing it. The try scorer, Kingi Aquala. He's a tough fella and he takes a lot of pulling down. Gets them back up to near the 20 once more as it comes away to Davis, and Davis's pass to pick up Milligan. Held on to in the tackle of Josh White. Played back through Brown. Tim McCann running with the ball, able to come out the back door. Picked up once more by McCann. Sheds away from the first attempted tackle of Matt King. Tackle number 4, and they're 11 metres from the line. Away once more to Davis, running it now, puts in a little kick, which is still bouncing around, bouncing into the in goal.
In the field of play, we're going out there for a scrum. No.
So Sound found a knock forward in the field of play from Tweed as it came off Dennis there, but there's the little hand. There's a couple of the chasers coming through, reaching for the ball, and referee Wise was close to it. He said it came off Tweed, a Tweed hand. 2 players going for it. Oh, gee.
Yep.
One of the Magpies has just gone down. Is that Smith?
Yes.
Smith?
Yeah.
I hope he's not suffering from some sort of heat exhaustion. It's a very hot, dry day.
Back,
oh, no, he's bleeding.
Jersey for him anyway.
Yeah, no.
So you take him out the back, mate. He's not staying
Just
on
got
here
that
with that.
Cut to the chin, so referee Michael Wise just telling the trainers
Take him out the back. We're playing on.
Take him out the back.
He's a long way away from the scrum, wasn't he? And suddenly he just went down. That was the reason he obviously wanted to get it, the trainer. So that's Bowen badly cut, and now Smith cut as well.
Inside the 20.
In fact, I can't see Brendan Bowen down there on the bench near you, Gavin. He must have been taken inside.
Right.
Could be some stitches going on.
I just had a look there as well, Warren. I can't see him at all. There may be some stitches indeed. It was a nasty cut. It might be more than that, perhaps.
Well, let's hope he does come back for the Seagulls. South Logan escaped, though, off that attempted grubber by Davis. And Moylan gets it wide, and away they go.
So it's the Magpies in possession. Running it back across field goes Kelly. He'll be taken to ground, Brett Kelly. Try and come down the centre of the ruck.
Yeah, Brett Kelly's playing on the right wing, but he switched across to the left side for those first couple of plays there, got involved.
Now ahead once more comes Joyce, looking to try and stand in the tackle. Takes 3 to eventually put him to ground, though.
Too long.
Well, this penalty will put South Logan on the attack, as Barrett has been found guilty.
Holding on too long in the tackle. Phil Dennis will kick for touch. And we'll find it just about 30 metres out from the Seagulls line.
Well, it's been a while since South Logan have carried the ball this end of the field, hasn't it? They started the first 10 minutes, they were dominating down this end. Now they've got a chance to see if they have got something up their sleeves in attack.
Josh White trying to turn in the tackle and unload. He can't. He'll play the ball back to Matt King. Gives it away then to Kieran Wally. It's just on the field from the interchange bench. Fenson, only 5 metres from the line. Played back once more to King. Now given away to Dennis, running, showing it, looking for a runner coming around him, eventually able to get that pass back to Wally. See the line, only 2 metres away. Once more away to Dennis. Sent it across field from Moylan, diving, but the ball's gone forward. Travelling forward.
The crowd are cheering, but it's been called back. Matt Smith, by the way, who was bleeding a moment ago, he's changed his jersey. He's now wearing number 18 for the Magpies, the halfback. There he is passing the ball as he got it wide, and they had the numbers out here too. As Moylan threw a beautiful long ball, but just a little too far out in front of Reid, and he made a valiant effort to pull it in. And gee, there wasn't much in that, was there? Again, he's just not quite in control of it as he hit the ground. I don't think he really had a good grip on it as the ball hit the ground before he got the body back on it, didn't he?
Point outside
the referee ruling, though, that it had travelled forward.
Well, maybe he didn't rule that he knocked it on there. Maybe it was just the forward pass.
It travelled forward, yeah.
Yeah, I thought the pass. Well, I suppose it was out in front of him. He had to dive forward to try and take it. But they had the numbers. That you'd almost put that down as a bombed opportunity.
Richie Barrett playing it. So it's the Seagulls bringing it out from their own line. Played back by Jake Leary. Now to Barrett once more. He's 12 on his own side of halfway, Richie Barrett. Now to Birdie. Fifth tackle. Last coming up. Kick being put through by Davis. Just dropping it in behind the winger, and it's going to run too deep, and it will go over the dead ball line. It'll come out to the 20 for the restart. And
it's interesting to see Matt King, former teammate of Brad Davis. He got out there and put pressure on the kick, but he didn't knock him over as he kicked it. He might have been penalised if he had of, but former teammates and pretty good friends, I'm sure, from the 2007 grand final victory. They're getting stuck in, the Tweed boys, aren't they, Gavin?
Yes, they are, Warren. As I said, yeah, I'm quite impressed with the Tweed. They did soak up all that early pressure. You know, Simpkins is just a real worker in the middle of that ruck. They've made a couple of interchanges now. They're just starting to rotate their players around a little bit, and they're very impressive.
Ball to be played back by Moylan. Now given away once more from Dennis. Good pass given wide, first of all from Purtell to pick up Smith. Now coming back across field is Reid, and he'll be tackled, Jake Reid. Good attacking run though by the Magpies. Once more away to Smith. Sean Fenson put to ground as we see Brenton Bowen back on the bench. A couple of stitches put in that wound just underneath the eye. Crossfield kick. Purtell goes up for it. It's batted it forward. It's going to come down Tweed Heads' way. So it's a Seagulls ball. 12 out from their own line.
Purtell does have the height. He's the tallest man on the field, and that's a useful tactic. He didn't come down with that one, but it'd be worth going that way again.
Cameron White to play it on his own 20.
McCann goes into dummy half.
Steve Lacey, the coach of the Tweed Seagulls, pretty happy with this first half performance because they are running into the breeze. They had to soak up a lot of pressure early on. They lead on the scoreboard at the moment by 4 points to nil with 10 minutes remaining until the break. Now to Birdie. Makes almost got through. He was just grabbed at the last moment by Liam McDonald and gets a penalty as well.
Yes, Selassie Birdie ripping in, and because he was almost away, they held onto him, came over the top. That's a late flop there, definitely late from Kieran Wally. Penalty Tweed, and the penalties are starting to go their way as well. They've got Bodine Thompson on now. Bodine Thompson, who I think actually played for the Titans at least once this season. So that's what I mean. They've got some power coming off the bench today with the likes of Thompson there and Shannon Walker originally starting on the bench.
So here's the try scorer for Tweed Heads, Kingi Aquala. Gets up to only 10 metres out from the line. So the chance again for the Seagulls to attack. If they put on another try here before the break, it'd make things interesting. Now spun across field from Simpkins, away to Davis. Davis gets his pass to Milliken coming into the line from fullback. Davis runs up to be dummy half. Looks to take it back in field once more to Ryan Simpkins. They swarm on him this time to make sure he can't get one of those little short passes away. Now away to Birdie. Salesi Birdie put to ground. Only 5 metres out from the line, and they're on the last, and Davis rolls it into the in goal, and too deep.
Well, Tweed's still leading 4-0. We've got 8 minutes of the first half remaining, and this has been a very sturdy and effort from them after they were under pressure early on. They've been very controlled and aggressive in defence since then, and they are matching the Magpies, the minor premiers, all the way.
That they certainly are. So looked initially that it was simply going to be all South Logan Magpies, but that's not the case at the moment. They know they've certainly got a game on their hands. This is Andrew Edwards, just off the interchange bench. Now once more given a cross field from Kieran Wally. Wide they come, this is Smith. Matt Smith, the halfback, and gets a penalty. Hand into the ruck, just pushing that ball free.
Kingy Aquala, the culprit. Matt Smith is finding a bit of space on the left-hand side, isn't he? He's got a couple of runners out wide, and they seem to have room to move down there. Haven't been able to get away. A couple of near opportunities for them on that side so far, Magpies.
Out to Dennis, then on to McDonald. Tackle made on him by Richie Barnett. 12 metres out from the line, South Logan. Now away to Edwards. Andrew Edwards tries to take them on himself. Only a few metres out is where the ball is played. Away to Phil Dennis. Dennis gets it away to Smith. Once more they go wide. Given back inside from Stewart to pick up Shea Moylan, and Moylan will bring it around and score just near the post. So that's the try they wanted, the Magpies. Makes it 4-all with a relatively easy kick to come.
Well, that is the area that they've started to show some promise, South Logan. Kingy Aquala, of course, more of a forward playing in the centres, but he really did his job in defence there. It was the inside pass. Shannon Walker and Aquala were outnumbered here, but they just held off and then started to fade across field. But the inside ball caught them. There it is, back inside to Moylan. Catches them going the wrong way and steps beautifully to improve the position confidently there from Shea Moylan.
Brett Kelly from just to the left-hand side of the uprights makes no mistake.
Yeah, boys, you are right. That's 6-4 to South Logan, but the best opportunities for the Magpies have come down this left-hand side. They've been searching there all afternoon, and Stewart there, just a lovely little flick pass inside to Moylan, the try scorer. He just dodges a couple to improve the position for his kicker and get South Logan away to that little lead there. Just as you pointed out, Warren, Stewart was thumped by Walker just as he was unloading that ball. Obviously he had his eyes elsewhere, and nothing illegal about it, but he let him know he was around.
But wasn't able to prevent the try.
No.
Now Davis kicks deep to get play underway, and it's allowed to bounce by Smith, and it's gone over the sideline.
Well,
that's as good as a 40-20.
That is as good as a 40-20, Warren. Amazing restart.
You've got to catch them on the full. Must have been a misunderstanding here. Smith must have been leaving it for someone else. And then there's no one back on the sideline. They all just stood and looked.
And that, of course, means that from a restart, the ball can find touch. Gives the side who took the kick off the feed to this scrum. So a terrific chance now for the Seagulls as it comes to Milligan. He put to ground 11 metres out from the line. Played back to Wood. Tries to run himself, James Wood, from dummy half. Wrestled to ground by Liam McDonald. Now to Brown. Gives it away to Barnett. Richie Barrett played the ball. Back away to Brown once more. Now away to Davis. Dirty to be put to ground. Only 5 metres out from the line. Up the centre comes Jake Leary. Good defence.
Yeah, that was a ripper of a tackle by Dennis.
By Phil Dennis. Little kick across field. Under no pressure at all, Brett Kelly takes it well.
Yeah, he's very comfortable. He's an experienced NRL player, Brett Kelly. and he loves scoring tries at the other end. He's very quick, but very comfortable under that bomb. No challenge at all from Tweed out wide on the Davis kick. So that was Tweed's chance, really, after that kick-off found touch. A real chance to hit back immediately before half-time, but South Logan off the hook and still leading.
Just going back to that kick-off, Warren, I thought when it left the boot, I thought, gee, that looks a fairly ordinary kick. Then I thought, oh, maybe it's just the strength of that breeze that's holding it up a little. But you've still got to take those on the full, and they almost paid the price for it.
Yeah, just hooked away a little from Matt Smith. He obviously thought someone else was going to take it, but you've got to communicate. Here's Edwards taking the tackle.
Andrew Edwards plays the ball. Back it goes to King, then away to Dennis. Now away to Matt Smith. Again, he puts it high into the air, in behind Shannon Walker. But it will go too deep with the breeze well behind that. In fact, takes it out over the fence and up onto the hill.
Almost into the Portaloo on the hill. Shannon Walker, I don't think he ever thought about catching that one. With a breeze behind it, a hard ground, that was always going to bounce dead. As much as it was very high, and he would have been very unlucky if that bounced back in his direction.
They are targeting him with that bomb, though, Shannon Walker. He's looking into the sun. I'm not sure whether they've identified a weakness out on that side. Certainly the sun won't be helping Walker, but they are putting him up that way.
And he's not very tall either. If you've got someone who they'll be able to out-jump him.
And we saw Reid earlier with the big fly there over the top of Walker in the beginning of that first half as well.
Good run by Kingi Aquala, but equally good defence to knock him over from Matt King.
Another offload from Simpkins.
Kept away again to Brad Davis.
Son of Robert Simpkins, playing a good first half here for Tweed.
Up the middle comes Richie Barrett. Fifth tackle. Last on its way now. Kicked across field, taken down by Brett Kelly, and it will go over the line.
Oh, it was in the hands of James Wood. He had a real chance there. If he'd hung on to it, he might have been able to skip to the outside, and the line was only 10 metres away. Maybe Kelly would have been able to round him up, but another chance slips through the fingers. And they continue to bomb to this side of the field off Davis, Gavin.
Yeah, they do. Early on, I saw Davis turn and deliberately go out to Reid's wing. I thought, again, they might have detected some sort of weakness there, but they keep punching them this way most recently.
Brett Kelly running it infield and is tackled 40 metres out from their own line. Now running it again across field.
Lost it.
Lost the ball. Picked up immediately by Jake Leary.
There was a real acceleration in the play there from the Magpies. Matt Smith went charging at the line, and that could have been anything. They look very dangerous there. They've been giving far too much room by the Tweed defence on the right side.
Ball being played back by Birdie. Once more to Aquala. A little kick on legs is Kingi Aquala, and he's very, very hard to pull to ground.
Simpkins has lost losing it. I was going to say Aquala and Simpkins have had a fine first half, and they often seem to come in tandem, don't they? Aquala is followed by Simpkins on the next play.
Here it is. Tough hit. Coming over the top was Liam McDonald. Just jolt that ball free. Had a good game, though, as Ryan Simpkins. And the hooter goes for half-time. So not much in it at the break. South Logan with that try late in the first half, but they have been running with the breeze in the first half, the defending premiers, the Magpies, and they lead Tweed Head Seagulls by 6 points to 4. Referee Michael Wise blows time on. Brad Davis gets us underway to start the second half. Go down to Phil Dennis.
He kicked very deep there too, Davis. That wasn't far short of the dead ball line. So only 10 metres back out into the field of play.
It is quite a strong breeze. It'll be interesting to see just exactly how he does use it. Andrew Edwards. Out to his own 20 is where he's tackled. They just bring it out from their own line. The Magpies on tackle number 4.
Tweed's record away from home is quite poor this season. They've only had 2 wins, 9 losses away from home, but didn't seem to worry them in the first half.
Back to Dennis, gets his kick away, but he was under pressure when he had to put that kick downfield. Just bounces around for Ryan Milligan. He eventually takes it. Let's go down and see what Steve Lacey, the coach of the Tweed Head Seagulls, has to say. He's with Gavin.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Steve. Mate, we're just talking about you'd be reasonably happy into the breeze with that first half.
I was very happy. Yeah, we're completion rates are over 80%. So for semi-finals football, that's what you want. Couple of mistakes, one leading to a try, but very, very pleased with the boys.
You did struggle a little bit early in that first half. South were on top of you a little bit, but you worked your way back into the game. They had plenty of pressure on Brad Davis.
Yeah, we spoke during the week. Obviously, Brad's a key part of our forward play, but we just lost it there again, which is a shame. But yeah, we knew they were going to throw everything at us in the first sets, and we sort of weathered it. And maybe we were a little bit soft, and then once we got into the game, we upped the intensity, which was good.
Just from our observations, just a few times you've been short on that right-hand side. They've had a few opportunities down there. You looked to address that during the half-time break?
Yeah, we spoke to the guys about trying to stay a bit square and having a bit more faith in the guys tying in. That tying in didn't happen for the try, so yeah, they know where their mistakes are, and hopefully they can correct them in the second.
As the half unfolded, you started to take a little bit of possession and work your way up the middle. Simpkins was quite impressive, as was Kingi Aquila.
Yeah, they've been good the last few weeks, and Ryan's been quality all year at his line running. But we said we've got to be in an arm wrestle, and we just got to work hard. And at the end of the day, you only need a point to win a football game. So let's not try and score off everything, and just build momentum and hold on to the football.
Thank you for your time this afternoon. All the best with that momentum building, and for the rest of the season, should it go on after today.
Thanks very much.
That's been knocked on by Tweed.
The Brad Davis blowing up, who wanted the tackle count to restart, but a knock-on is the ruling.
Yes, Steve Lacey there, pretty happy with that completion rate in the first half from the Tweed Head Seagulls. And,
It's a scrum.
there's Davis just questioning the referee. He needs to maintain his cool. He just got let his temper get away from him in a couple of recent games. Matt Smith is really patched up. Matt Smith, the halfback for South Logan. John McCoy, Gavin Payne and Warren Boland with you this afternoon for the Queensland Cup first qualifying final.
Phil Dennis to work the scrum. Taken off the back of the scrum by Shea Moylan. He's going to be tackled. Referee's gone down. In fact, Michael Wise quickly gets back to his feet as the ball is played, and they'll take it back out onto the short side on tackle number 2. Dennis to play the ball. Now given back across field once more. Moylan trying to work his way through. Almost over the line, Shea Moylan scored the try for the Magpies in the first half. He's tackled right underneath the goal mouth. Now back across field once more. Given wide to Brad Cross, and good defence.
Well, they should have been warned of just a couple of minutes back. Kingi Aquila nearly put one of the Magpies over the sideline. This time he is joined by another 4. Look, there's a lot of enthusiasm in this Seagulls defence. And now South Logan coach Paul Bramley is with Gavin.
Yeah, thanks for joining us down here this afternoon, Paul. Paul, we're just speaking about a nice tight tussle, an opportunity early in that second half. You've got to take your opportunities.
Oh, we certainly do, It's a semi-final, and we knew Tweed Heads were going to come out today. Didn't matter where they were travelling throughout the season. It's making that 6, and they've made it, and they're a quality footy side. So, yeah, we just got to be prepared to stay in this grind, and one of us is going to come out the other side. So we're confident.
They certainly will. You started quite well. You were controlled. You looked like you controlled the play quite well. Nice rushing defence. Plenty of pressure on Davis. Just fell away a bit in the middle of that first half.
Yeah, I just think conditions got us. We put a lot of effort into that 15-20 minutes, and fatigue got us at the back end of that. And Tweed were good enough to put us under a bit of pressure there. So, it was good. Good footy, but I was really proud of how the boys come back at the back end of that half. And I felt like we started to get back on top. No points, but it's first half. It's not about it's about the second half. So I'm confident we can come home, providing we stay controlled. And that was just our focus of our talk at halftime.
Yeah, mate. You certainly did finish that first half in the better. You look like you're trying to work to your attacking left-hand side. There's been a few opportunities down there, a couple of no tries. Is that still part of the plan?
Yeah, that's right. We're just we're looking to load up. Brad Davis. You know, he's their key player, so we're just going to work at him and just keep him involved. More times he's having to make tackles, hopefully the better it's going to be for us later in the game. And obviously then in that process we're going to shift across and give our boys some room to play.
Well, you're not on top of the table for nothing, mate. You've obviously played very well throughout the season. I believe you've got a bit of a cheerio, though.
Yeah, I'd just like to say, you know, congratulations to my brother-in-law Mark and my new sister-in-law Emily. They're getting married today, and unfortunately I couldn't make it, so all the best, and I hope it's a great day.
Footy's far more important than weddings, mate.
Well, I'm in trouble.
Good on you, Paul.
Yeah, blood's thicker than footy, or not.
Paul Bramley is the coach of the defending premiers, the South Logan Magpies, and they lead by 6-4. And they're about 20 metres out from the Tweed Heads line at the moment.
Great tackle by Wood on Purtell a moment ago, centre on centre. Fifth tackle now.
So the last coming up, little kick through by Matt Smith. Going to be fielded though by the Tweed.
Cameron
White to play it, 10 out from his own line.
Yeah, that kick, you thought that they would have had enough chases to pin Cameron White there. It went fairly deep in goal, but one player might have just got slightly shepherded out.
Ryan Milligan being held down. Referee Michael Wise.
He doesn't have 3 hands.
Well, this is a useful penalty for Tweed. They've been under a bit of pressure, mainly through their mistakes. We saw, for example, that kick knocked on by Davis, and then we saw Leary with a bad play the ball. So they've been under pressure, but now they'll escape.
So Brad Davis with the breeze behind him, but make sure that he finds touch. Doesn't make all that much ground, about 15 metres. So they'll take the restart just 10 short of halfway. This is Celesi Birdie with a hard run. Takes it over the halfway mark. Plays it back through Joel Brown. Now away to Aquala. Brown runs it, gives it away to Barrett. Almost at the 30-metre mark. Now away to Simpkins. Now opened up, given away to Brad Davis. Couldn't unload his pass, had some support on the outside, couldn't get it away. Simpkins once more, back inside, through Tim McCann. Fifth and last. Call for again by Davis. Tries to float a pass over the top to Cameron White. White uses the little grubber kick through. Fielded well though. On their own line. Taken to ground by for the South Logan by Quinton Lalu Tongagai.
Yes, he's on the field this season. He's only been back for about 5 games in the Queensland Cup. Played rugby union earlier in the season. Switched back to the Magpies, and he handled that awkward kick from White pretty well.
They're just bringing it out from their own 20, from the red zone. Last coming up now for the Magpies. Waiting for it is Phil Dennis. Elects to give it wide. Kick being put downfield by Fox. Touch on the full. Out on the full. The crowd don't like it.
Shannon Walker does.
Shannon Walker. He certainly agrees. Shannon Walker.
Shannon Walker had the best view. I think it might have been a millimetre in. It was right in front of me.
It just seemed to stop at the last minute into the wind, didn't it? It was always going out, but it dropped right at the feet of Walker. He couldn't believe it, that was in. Oh, did it get the white line? Maybe it got the white line. What do you think, Gavin?
Well, the Tweed bench erupted, I can tell you that. They were quite happy with the call.
Gee, well, I tell you what, that's a tough one for the touch judge to have to make. And if it did hit the white line, it was by the smallest of margins. However, that's what they always say, don't they, Warren? That football, it's a game of millimetres. And it certainly can be. This is Ryan Simpkins. Can they capitalise on that bit of luck? Now away to Brad Davis once more. On the third tackle. Ball played back by James Wood. Davis again takes it back to the short side. Thompson on number 4. Back to Davis. Back on the inside to Milligan. He's tackled. Last coming up now for the Seagulls. Brad Davis tries a little grubber kick. Still loose on the ground. Touched. Now knocked on. There's going to be 6 to go, and now he reels a knock off.
Yeah, that was 6 more tackles had been ruled, but then it was a knock-on by Tweed. What an opportunity this was, is that the kick rebounds and comes back off Moylan going forwards. Hunter's got it, but then lost it. And well, you could almost say that, in fact, the Tweed player was offside as he picked it up there. So South Logan would have been under a lot of stick there if Tweed had got another set on them. 6-4 the score, just 1 try apiece in the first half. The conversion, the difference.
Back it up. 9, don't strike for it before it's in. Get your heads in.
If it is a draw at the end of 80 minutes, we play golden point. It'll be 5 minutes, 5-minute periods until someone scores a point.
Brett Kelly tackled only about 8 metres out from his own line. And ball going loose and knocked on. Knocked on, good defence by Tweed. And they're certainly pumped up by that. Brad Davis, their captain, high-fiving most of his teammates in defence.
Well, the referee had no view of this, I wouldn't have thought. The touch judge didn't seem to give him much help. Adrian Purtell was appealing, but it looked like a loose carry, didn't it?
Yep, it did look like a loose carry. Ryan Simpkins leading the way in defence. So here's a good chance now for the Seagulls.
Bodine Thompson standing first receiver on the right from this scrum.
Tweed 4, we're waiting on you to bind. Point to point. Yep. Out.
Ah, they've gone the blind side.
Simpkins, well, he went to the blind side, then he wasn't quite sure. I think he was thinking there was going to be a player coming back on the inside of him who wasn't there. So maybe not the way that they wanted that to work out. But they are inside the 10-metre mark. Straight ahead goes Brock Hunter. Hunter eventually held on to. They didn't get him right to ground. He'll get a quick play the ball, then away to Joel Brown. Davis gives it away then to Celessi Birdie. 5 metres out from scoring. Brown works it onto the short side. The Kingy Aquala. Aquala stands, looking to unload in the tackle. Now pushed to ground. Last is coming up for the Seagulls. Given away by Brown. On to Davis. The little grubber kick. Just shepherded over the line by Laulo Tongai. Back out to the 20.
Davis shows the frustration there. Just a little too much on it. It kicked it straight and it bounces over that dead ball line. I wonder whether it might go through Steve Lacey's mind to put Shannon Walker into fullback some stage in this second half to give a running option off Davis. He's out on the right wing. He's not getting the ball. Tackles in opposition 20, favouring Tweed so far in the game, dominantly so.
We're just waiting for someone to take this game by the scruff of the neck. Will it be Shannon Walker? Perhaps it'll be Phil Dennis or Matt Smith from the South Logan Magpies, but just someone needs to do something, I feel, to open this game up and get it into a bit more free-flowing attack. But having said that, the defensive efforts of both sides, particularly on their goal line in the second half, have been outstanding.
This is Adrian Edwards playing the ball just near halfway on tackle number 4. As they run it, straight ahead comes Josh White, and this will be a penalty. High tackle.
Let's get him there.
Well, was it high? Kingy Aquala came in. He certainly hit Josh White, but was it high? Oh, yeah, he just clipped him under the chin. It came up, ricocheted off his chest. Gee, hit him hard. White was stunned.
So away it comes now to Shea Moylan. Moylan tackled. At 18 metres inside Seagulls territory. Now to Edwards. Adrian Edwards standing, trying to get those arms free. Can't get the pass away. This game very much there for the taking at the moment. This is Phil Dennis. On the 3rd and 11 metres out from the line. Now across field to Kieran Wally. Running it out to the left-hand side. Ahead goes Brad Cross. He almost got through. Cross to player. Just a couple of metres out. Wide pass to pick up Jack Reed. Reed tries to get a little pass away and gets so to Quinton Lalatonga, and he will go in and score what could be a crucial try right in the corner for the Magpies.
Great work to keep the ball alive. That's what finally outfoxed the defence. They'd gone back inside. The defence started to cover inside, and then all of a sudden the ball was offloaded and coming back out on the left, and the defence hadn't been able to get back out there to cover the territory. First the wide ball, and Reid cuts back inside, and the defence follows him. Walker goes Walker. There's number 19. He's still followed him. There's no one out on the outside. Reid comes back. Laulu Tongagai's got space to shoot for, and he's over. Good work. Just that intent to keep the ball alive, knowing they weren't far from the line. As Gavin said, the defence has been tremendous, meeting the attacking onslaughts, but not this time. Quentin Laulu Tongagai scores his second try for the season, 74 for his career in the Queensland Cup.
Give a lot of credit there to Jack Reid, because he made sure that he wasn't pushed into touch initially. He was able to take the defence through sheer strength, draw them back infield, and then get his arms free to get that ball back out and to Laulu Tongagai to let him dive over and score in the corner. Makes it a crucial try, and it makes it 10 points to 4 now in favour of the Magpies with the kick to come. Tough kick it will be from Brett Kelly.
That try scored on the back of that penalty for the high tackle. Gave them good field position, and they've been able to use it this time.
So from right on touch, Breeze coming down to the ground against this kick. It looks good off the boot, and no, just falls short. Just falls short, no goal.
No goal and 10-4 to South Logan. And look, it's a bit up and down this second half, and it's an enthralling game of rugby league that we're seeing this afternoon. Nothing like what I thought we'd get. There's Laulu Tongagai getting over into the corner. Good work by Reid. He's been impressive this afternoon. Reid out on this left wing. He had a couple of opportunities. He's made the most of them. Unluckily, just a couple of no tries, but he did very, very well there. That second phase ball again, Warren, the second time we've seen a little bit of second phase. I think that's where the teams need to look at, card it up, pop it back, and look for a few holes around the edge of the ruck.
So still nothing in this game. It is still only a converted try between them. But the reigning premiers, the South Logan Magpies, are in front as we come towards the halfway mark of the second half. And the pass going forward. Touch judge calling that a forward pass. So here's a chance now for the Tweed Seagulls.
Yeah, it was Adrian Purtell, and now just a bit of pushing and shoving.
Back to your neutral corners, boys.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a pass from Purtell. No doubt it was forward. Out from Purtell to Brett Kelly. Really don't know why Purtell forced that pass. It was fairly obvious. I would have thought that it was never going backwards from the hands. He just wanted it to go to Kelly. Knew Kelly had a little bit of room to move. He wanted to get the ball to him.
So this scrum is on the Magpies 20.
Thank you.
The Magpies made a few errors about 5 minutes ago. They were able to hold out. They put themselves under pressure again.
Shannon Walker comes in to be first receiver. Walker running across field, trying to jink his way through. Can't do so. Play it back to Tim McCann, to Celeste Birdie coming down the short side. He's 8 metres from the line, Birdie. Played back to Brown. Now given away by Milliken. The Brock Hunter, who's 5 metres out. Back to Brown once more. Away again to Milliken. Then on to Brad Davis. Touched by South. Picked up by Shannon Walker. Walker heading towards the corner and dives into the corner. That's a try. Shannon Walker scores a crucial try.
Well, Shannon Walker is playing on the right wing, but he has been involved. This is a deliberate play. He was always sweeping around from behind to the far side of the field to get involved, but he got a lucky ricochet off the pass here. Davis tries to cut it out. I don't even know that it was intended to go straight to Walker, but the deflection off the hand has gone up in the air. Walker gathers it in, and he's got the speed to go all the way to the corner. Whether Davis was actually trying to pick up Walker or just trying to get the straight runner, I'm not sure. Walker may well have been more of a decoy, as it turned out, but he's got the ball anyway, and he scores. He does know how to get to the line. He's got that speed. He hasn't been quite as sharp coming back after injury in the latter part of the season, but there's the hand from Purtell, knocked it up in the air, and Walker a little in and away there to keep going for the corner.
Shannon Walker scores the try, makes it 10-8, and Brad Davis with the breeze behind this kick
Behind the fence.
will try and make it 10-all. Now one of the supporters has actually jumped over the fence with a banner, which he was trying to get into the eye of Brad Davis and put the goal kicker off, but referee Michael Wise saying get back behind the fence, which he has done so.
That's Shannon Walker's 8th try in 9 games in the Queensland Cup this year. Even when he's not at the peak of his form, he's still fun to be watched.
I think he's just struggling a little bit coming back from a hamstring injury. They're a few games back now, and you know, just looks like he's just lacking a little bit of confidence to really explode like we know he can. But geez, exciting when he goes.
This to try and level the scores at 10-all for Brad Davis. From touch, Breeze behind the kick, but across the face of goal. Certainly had the distance, didn't have the direction. So the Magpies lead by 2. 10 points to 8.
Yeah, goal kicking just a little bit off this afternoon, but let's not take anything away from the attacking play. Just a little stop-go play here by Walker, just to hold up Phil Dennis there a bit. Gives him enough time just to get to the corner, and that's the type of exciting play that we're looking for. Not too much in that, but he can dazzle. You'll remember, Warren, that he did get involved off that scrum from that set in the first instance, so two touches in that set of 6. I think they're certainly looking for more involvement, and I agree with you that he just needs to continue that roaming role and get his hands on the football as much as he can.
Absolutely. Look, he's too much of a talent to be just staying out on the wing and waiting there, but if that's the way they want to get him involved, bringing him into other plays, well, great. Otherwise, I was suggesting they bring him into fullback so that he's hovering off Davis, because Davis has been pretty much just using his kicking game all day long. They need a little bit more of an option in there to worry the defence.
Yeah. The other thing too, Warren, is that they've made no secret about the fact, Paul Bramley, that Davis is the player that they're targeting. So if you have someone like a Shannon Walker who just has the opposition in 2 minds every time he has the ball because of his speed and his elusiveness, helps their attack.
Absolutely. 5th tackle here on the halfway.
Davis uses the little grubber kick to go downfield to be taken by Kelly. So it's the Magpies back out in their own 20, and they lead by 2. 10 to 8, they're in front. Play back to Kelly. Then to Josh White. White met by a wall of black and white jumpers. Again, just trying to work their way through the middle of the ruck, but there's no way through there. Played on number 3. Back out to Purtell.
Move it, 4! Stand up!
Still 10 from halfway, and that's 4 tackles gone. Make that 5 as they, in fact, just reach the halfway mark. Now kicked out of dummy half by Matt King. Allowed to bounce by Ryan Milligan, and it will go touch in goal. So back out to the 20 for the restart.
Of course, 2 tries apiece now. It's the goal kicking that's the difference. Davis has missed 2 conversions. Both of them were from out wide. Kelly's got 1 from 2, and he kicked the one that was right in front. So the next try needs to be right underneath the post.
Salesi Birdie after the restart. Trying to bring it back through the middle of the ruck. Held on to is Tom Kingston.
Just a
Rock Hunter with another top run.
Sorry, John, just a quick there of the Tweed shot there of the Tweed bench. I was talking to Brenton Bowen before, won't be back this afternoon. Nasty egg on his eye and more than a handful of stitches underneath that right eye.
Yeah, that was a blow for the Tweed because it happened very early in the game to Brenton Bowen. So the kick downfield with the breeze and picked up by Quentin Lalu Tonga who'll play it 25 metres out from his own line.
Well, Moylan looking to Moylan and does, and legally so.
Got it back to Dennis, who unloaded his pass to Belcom. Lewis Belcom to play it. Back out onto the right-hand side. Matt Smith plays it back up on the short side once more to Dennis, and the ball has gone to ground.
Davis took the odds to it. He's gone for the intercept here and knocked it down. Obviously, from his reaction, he wasn't too far off taking that, and he would have streaked away for a try. Look at that! But in doing that, he may have prevented a try.
There's Brenton Bowen. Yeah, the stitches under the right eye. It was a very bad cut early in the game for Brenton Bowen, so he'll take no further part in this match this afternoon.
Bend your backs.
Talking about looking
Let's
for
go,
that spark,
South.
there's not
Arms
too
around
much
each
happening
other,
out of
South,
dummy half.
seconds.
There, Phil Dennis we had, he popped out of dummy half and just
Left
created a
ball, green
4-on-3, I
eye.
think it was, down that short
There we
side.
go,
So
stay there.
maybe the dummy halves have to start to play a bit more of a role and try and take on that defence a bit more to open up some holes on the edges.
Laulu Tongagai looks confident. There's just a bit of nerves in both teams, aren't there, Gavin? They don't seem really fluent and confident, but Laulu Tongagai, to me, is one player who does believe in himself.
Yeah, it looks a little bit like they're both waiting for the other team to crack. They're just going to keep churning away up the middle and wait for someone else to make a mistake. I think someone's got to go out and win this game. Obviously someone is going to win it. I think it's got to be taken by the scruff of the neck by some of these playmakers for both sides.
4 tackles gone for the Magpies, and they're just outside the Tweed Heads 20. Dennis getting his pass. It comes across field and then picked up by Josh White to Laulu Tongagai. Little wrap-around play. Well read, though, by the defence. Kingi Aquala going in to make the tackle. Spread back across field to Dennis. Dennis kicks. Be taken down, though, by Cameron White. White be wrestled to ground by the defence, knocked over by Adrian Purtell.
Dennis came over that kick a little too quickly. It wasn't high enough. Big hit there from Phil Dennis. Might have been a bit angry with that kick.
He was, Warren.
It was interesting on the other side to Kingi Aquala. He went for a couple of intercepts. Both times he had to quickly scramble back, but he was able to recover his position.
Ryan Milligan runs into a tough tackle. Knocked over by Phil Dennis in a very good tackle indeed.
I don't know when Phil Dennis became an enforcer in defence, but it looks like he's taken on the role. Maybe he's trying to inspire his team. A bit of that leadership Gavin was talking about.
Kick downfield, goes in behind Jack Reed. Pick it up about 5 metres out from his own line. Gets back out to the 20 where he's met by the defence and will be driven to ground. Knocked over by Brock Hunter. Shea Moylan from dummy half. Again, Hunter goes in to make another tackle. Edwards is able to get it away then to Kelly. Brett Kelly to play it. Still just out to their 30. Tweed trying to force a mistake. Still keeping it alive.
Matt King supporting well there.
Paul Bramley, who's the coach of the Magpies, anxiously watching on. Down the middle comes Daniel Joyce. He's had a good game. He's worked very hard.
They're still waiting for the mistake rather than throwing it around, aren't they?
Indeed.
Kick downfield. Trying to put it between Shannon Walker and Ryan Milligan. Fullback Milligan gets it, gives it back to him. It throws a terrible pass. Loose on the ground.
Well, there's a mistake.
Tweed eventually come up with it, but that was more by good luck than good management. That was just a horrid pass.
Well, that was a brain explosion from Shannon Walker. Well, that was a very conservative set from the Magpies, though. It was just hit it up and get to the kick and play it down there. There's no doubt, as Gavin's suggesting, both teams are just playing for the other team to lose it rather than for them to win it.
Shannon Walker there down on the ground receiving some attention again for either a cramp or maybe a hamstring that has troubled him for some time. It looks as though they're working on the calf, so could just have a bit of a cramp, but don't know whether that had anything to do with the pass, but it was a shocker. Shocker at any time, but particularly when you're 5 metres out from your own line and you're behind by 2. Now the kick being driven downfield by Brad Davis. Deep kick with the wind behind it. It's going to sit up though. Quinton Laulu Tongagai will take it back on his own line. Starts to run it forward, runs into the defence of Joel Brown, who puts him to ground.
The chase wasn't real good from the men out wide there. Aquala was slow to get down there. Quinton Laulu Tongagai saw it, but he couldn't get there. Oh, Davis
goes for an intercept, Brad Davis, and knocked off.
Well, it suddenly got very lively.
It has.
But
bit of desperation coming in now because they realise that we're inside the last 10 minutes and this is finals football.
Oh, Davis, after the intercept there of Walker, nearly exposed his team to a try at that end. That pass was very nearly taken by Davis. Brett Kelly throwing it.
Say anything, Brad.
What's happening out there?
Boys, I can understand, South Logan sort of grinding away. They can't be eliminated from if they happen to lose this match. But the Tweed, their season's on the line here. They've got, about 10 minutes to go. They're 2 points behind. I think they've got to start to pop the ball around a little bit and start to take some opportunities and some chances to see if they can open up this South Logan defence.
Yeah, you make a good point. If Tweed lose, well, they're going to be out, aren't they?
Yep. Yeah, having finished 6, you know, if they lose, they are gone. And here's a penalty to Souths. Offside is the ruling against Tom Kingston.
I've explained the ruling. I've explained it.
Brad, he needs to zip it. Brad, he'll only get himself into more trouble.
Yeah, there's only going to be one winner in situations like that, and it's not going to be Brad Davis, that's for sure.
Might have been just trying to slow it down a little, but he doesn't want to get walked, that's for sure.
So just near halfway is where the Magpies are, and they lead at the moment by 10 points to 8. Inside the last 10 minutes of this first qualifying final. Phil Dennis taking it back to the short side. Driven to ground, though, in the tackle of Tom Kingston. Back across field comes Matt King. Brushes away from a couple of tackles. Now tries to straighten up. Once more, given wide. It comes to Jack Reed. That's tackle number 5. Josh White runs in to be the dummy half. Gets it back then to King. King's kick holding up in the breeze. And can't be taken by Milliken. It's 6 to go. It was touched by him. Touched by Ryan Milliken. So here's a real chance now for the Magpies. They're 20 metres out of the tackle count restarting. Shea Moylan on the first is put to ground. Back to King. King able, lovely pass, straight through the middle they go. This will be the try that will be scored by Sean Fenson.
Oh, he's called it back. Ooh.
Called it back for a forward pass.
Huge call. South were denied of a try in the first half on a forward pass.
Talk to me. You talk to me.
Touch judge didn't move on the far side. He stayed. Brad Davis turned and spun, looked straight at him and had a bit of a quick chat to him, I think. There was people coming over, patting Davis on the head from the South team. It was all happening. No try.
Yeah.
Well, looking at that replay, we couldn't really judge it on the angle, but as best you can tell from the hands, it looked okay to me.
Well, again, it's had a good game, Daniel Joyce, but the referee was the one on the spot. Here it comes again.
Point.
Yeah, well, you're hard to tell on that, but maybe the referee was the one right in position. So
he was behind Brad Davis when he took the ball, if that's any indication of a forward pass.
I've seen worse ones let go.
Yeah, I agree with that, Gavin. There have been worse ones let go. Here's Shannon Walker. Walker trying to make a break. He'll be driven to ground, though, again in the tackle of Joyce. Shannon Walker again being troubled by cramp, and the referee will take time off.
Well, this is turning out to be an extraordinary match. It's more about the missed opportunities, isn't it? It's more about the near misses for both teams to score tries than the try scoring that has occurred.
Tell you what, I've given him a couple of raps, but he was the player who threw that pass. All right, it was deemed to have been forward from Daniel Joyce, but he's worked very hard in carting the ball up, and that was to get back and make a tackle on someone like Shannon Walker for a big man is a good effort.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, I said before that South Logan were quite conservative in the set, but it's not to say they aren't putting in the effort. The forwards are working very hard. They're striving to make the metres, but they are certainly not throwing the ball around, not taking any risks.
Celeste Birdie. Shannon Walker still receiving attention on just near the sideline. He's going to play on. He's going to stay on the field, Shannon Walker. Playing out on the right wing at the moment.
Second time he's been treated for cramp.
Time running out now for the Tweed as they make a mistake. Ball being put to ground by Will Matthews. So the changeover.
Yeah, Will Matthews had a peek. He was coming back on the angle.
Here it is again. Let's have a look at it. Davis just dropping the ball back to Will Matthews, but he was just having a little look at the defence coming at him.
Pass might have been a fraction low as well from Davis to a tall man in Matthews.
Now this is Lewis Belcom. Belcom on the third. And he's about 18 metres inside Seagulls half. They lead it by 2 at the moment, the defending premiers. Here again is Daniel Joyce with another good, tough run. The hard yards. Now back across field to Jack Reed. Got it, did well. Not for the first time today, Reed. Got it back inside to Josh White. Fifth tackle, last coming up. Only a couple of metres out from the line. Now the little rubber kick through by Matt Smith. Going to be taken though by James Wood. Wood starts to run. He's got Cameron White on his outside. White trying to stay away from the touchline. Put the ground in a good defence. Knocked over by Brett Kelly. Time running out for them. Ahead goes Jake Leary. Leary takes it to 35 metres out from the Magpies line. Quick play the ball is what they want. Now away to Brad Davis. Davis ahead himself. Tackled on number 3, Brad Davis. Played back to Simpkins. Now it comes away to Barrett. Inside the 20 goes Richie Barrett. Barrett to play it on number 4. Of Tim McCann. Wide it comes to Kingy Aquala. Kept alive. Back in field from Tom Kingston. Now to Celesi Birdie. Birdie is 10 metres out. The last tackle coming up. Maybe the last throw of the dice, in fact, for the season. Brad Davis uses the little grubber kick. Trying to hold up in the in goal. And it will go dead. Just goes dead. Back out to the 20 for the restart.
Yeah, it was jiggling around awkwardly, wasn't it? And Wood was coming through and they were praying it would go dead, and it did. 5 minutes to go, only 2 points in it. And just as we thought it looked like South Logan were lifting, that they suddenly really had the smell of victory in their nostrils. It was all turned around with that James Wood run, and Tweed lifted instead.
Shannon Walker, incidentally, has now come from the field for the Seagulls. So inside the last 5 minutes. Brett Kelly to play it. Just on his own 30. Sure, the message would be going out from Paul Bramley. Just don't make any mistakes. Just juice up your sets. You're the ones that are in front. No, they can't be knocked out anyway, but they still want to win the game. So you don't do anything silly. Ball to be played back by Edwards. Go back out onto the short side. Played back by Purtell. Last tackle coming up. Going to run him on the last. Now kicked downfield by Brett Kelly. Going back into the in-goal area. Dropping back forward is Ryan Milligan. He'll be held on to in the in-goal. Smart work. Good chase. And that's all that the Magpies have to do.
Yeah, well, their kicking game has probably been the better of the two teams today. South Logan hasn't always been perfect by either team, by any means, but just often enough they've pegged them back into the in-goal.
Well, I can't recall South Logan having to do a dropout at all in this match, but there's been a few for the Tweed boys.
This one will bounce up for Jack Reed. Gives it away to Joyce. Runs into the Seagulls' defence.
Move 12.
Shea Moylan decides to have a dart himself out of dummy half.
2, stand, hold, go.
Matt King just unloads his pass to Sean Fensom.
3,
Just go through their sets. That's all they have to do. Just a couple of short passes off the ruck. Straight up the middle they go. Oh, in fact, crash into the goalpost. He's got the ball down. That will be a try.
Celebrations all round. It should be the match winner.
I think you'll find it Sean Fensom. A couple of players just crashed into the goalpost, into the uprights. I think you find it will be Sean Fensom who's actually scored the try. Referee just blowing time off at the moment.
And here it is, King. Dennis on the inside. And the defence came out the back once more. Dennis was still hunting up. And finally Fensom goes all the way to the line. Strong run and crashes into the padding, but got it down. Referee had no hesitation. Head on, we'll see the grounding better. The offload kept it alive, gave him another shot. Phil Dennis hadn't given up on it. Laulu Tongagai, and then let's see the grounding here. A flurry of arms and legs, but it does look like a fair try. And a match winner with a kick to come in front.
Sean Fensom scoring the try, which makes it 14-8. Kick to come from in front. That will mean that South Logan are always going to advance to at least the next week. But we know it's the end of the road coming up for the Tweed Head Seagulls for season 2009. Kick by Brett Kelly from in front is successful.
Well, Fensom scores a match sealer there for the South Logan Magpies, and I just want to see who popped this ball up. I just didn't quite catch who it was. I still can't quite see who it was, but another little second phase play. Dennis goes as far as he can. Tonga guy puts a couple of little steps on. Fensom pins his ears back and finally takes the line on, and he gets there, and he's pretty just rewards, actually. Penalty here for the kickoff for the South Logan Magpies. I'll back up to you, boys.
Didn't go 10 metres. They tried for the short kick-off so they could get the ball back. Didn't work that way. Didn't go the 10 metres and went into touch. So the penalty from the centre of halfway to the Magpies. With only a few seconds remaining in this game. So Matt King just takes the tap restart and gives it back to Daniel Joyce, who just crashes it straight into the defence of Jake Leary. Played back again, now to Phil Dennis. Once more going wide. Out to Laulu Tonga guy. Loose on the ground, picked up by Brad Davis. Davis on halfway. Called on to play it, Brad Davis. Now the Brendan Thompson. Bodine Thompson held on to, and that is full time. And the defending premiers, the South Logan Magpies, defeat the Tweed Head Seagulls by 16 points to 8.